Alright, people, coming with a quick video, a bit of a talk, So I want to talk a little bit about the reasons why I choose to use variety in my training. So sometimes, people will see me, I've sometimes got this rope I'm spinning around. I might have the Indian clubs I'm spinning around, I might have the maces, I might have my trusty old bull worker here, good old bull worker springs, spring loaded, so you're fighting against the springs. I've got many tools that I use to train. And where I got this idea from was from the planet itself. Because when I look outside, I see so much variety. I see dogs, I see cats, I see insects, I see people, I see male, I see female. I see so many combinations of things, and all these things come together just to make one planet. So if I want to bring all factors together to complete my package, I have to have variety. So I've realized if you stick to just one tool and you think to yourself, oh, I'm just going to use this one thing to reach this destination, you have to realize that it takes more than one thing to reach a destination. It takes more than one step, and it takes more than one pace. It takes a variety of paces. I mean, if you was walking from your house to the shop, for instance, you're not going to go from your house to the shop at one pace. Sometimes you're going slow, sometimes you're speeding up, there's a car coming, you need to cross over, oh, now it's relaxed, there's nothing in the way, so you can just take your time. So you have to understand that the brain needs variety. Variety is what stimulates the brain and the body. And the brain and the body combined that's the balance you want. So, with that being said, it's also a matter of what do you look up to? What do you look up to? Do you look up to human beings, or do you look up to your heavenly creator? Because anything you look up to is what you worship. Monkey see, monkey do. If you see something that you like in a person to the point where you start copying it and start embodying it, you're worshipping that person. Wherever you embody is what you worship. And there's nothing wrong with worship. There is nothing wrong with worship. That is another part of the variety that we're given. It's also a choice. It's a choice. It exists, so it's useful. We can worship things. Worship things that glorify God, is what I say. Worship things that acknowledge that there's something beyond these things that we're worshiping. Because it's hard to worship something that you can't see. Because everyone says worship God, worship your creator. But that's very difficult. Let's be real with ourselves. You can't just force us into a way of living that doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense to you, like for me, for instance, I don't believe that it's easy to worship something that I can't see. But I can show my acknowledgement to the creations of this thing that I can't see. So me looking at the earth here and seeing variety and adding variety into my own training is a sort of respect to the earth, which then leads to a respect to what is above the earth, if you understand what I'm saying. So my respect for the things of the earth translate into a respect for God that I can't see. So the way to respect God that you can't see is by showing him the respect of the things that you have, showing him the respect you have for the things that you can see. Because if you respect what you can see, then what you can't see will be respected. You see, I'm just trying to make it make sense, but I know exactly what I'm trying to say. So instead of cutting out the middleman and trying to go directly to God and worship God that you can't see, how can you worship? When you worship something, it's because, like I said earlier, monkey see, monkey do. When you worship something, you copy it. So how can you copy God when you can't see him? You don't know what he does. So how can you worship him? How can you emulate him? How can you emulate something that you can't see? So no, emulate his creations. Emulate the balance that he's created, the patterns that he's created on the planet. emulate that. And that's the respect you give to God, by acknowledging his processes. Because you don't know what God does, so you cannot copy it. And if you can't copy what God does, then you can't worship him. Because worship is copying someone. You know, like a kid sees their dad, when a kid sees their dad wake up in the morning and wash his face, and then the kid wakes up in the morning and he starts washing his face in the morning. That's a form of worship, if you understand what I'm saying. So you can only worship what you see. You can only be in awe, and you can only emulate and copy what you see. But what you can't see, that is your unknown, So to keep our heads in reality, or to keep myself in reality, because I'm not claiming to be anything, I'm just talking about how how my mind works. So to stay within reality, I copy things that I can see. I copy things that I can see that work. And the unknown and the things that I can't see, I leave that to the realm where it is, because that's beyond me. And I'm not going to try and comprehend something that I cannot even comprehend. I'm not going to be there coming up with all these concepts. Maybe God did this and maybe God did that. And maybe this is, I can't. I'm going to leave that subject alone. I'm just going to deal with what I can see, reality. And maybe when I die, my spirit might be able to see what God is doing. But this body cannot. This body can only see what's on the planet. And that's what I'm going to focus my purpose on. So, enough of that little rant. So I'm just going to, because I can't just do a video of me just talking. So I'm just going to do a quick little blast with the bull worker. So that there was for the chest muscle. And this thing here is called a bull worker. This is a bull worker X5. I'm saying this for anybody that doesn't know what this is and might be wondering what this is I've got. It's got springs inside it, so you're pushing against the spring. Very good for the body, and it feels very natural. Yeah. This exercise I'm doing now, this is for the lat muscles, that are on your back, but specifically the lat muscles, because your back has got a lot of muscles. The back is a big piece of meat, big piece of steak. Talking about steak, I like mine well done. I find that a lot of people like to have theirs rare. I don't know. Not too keen on the idea of blood on my plate. All right. So that little rant there was just for anybody into fitness, thinking about ways they can improve their training, little, ideas about thinking about, which mainly we're talking about variety. That's what I was talking about, wasn't it? Variety, mainly. So I'm just, putting some info out there. Try a bit of variety in your training. Sometimes maybe give you an example. You could do calisthenics some days use resistant bands, then other days go swimming, then other days, there's trampoline fitness, you can do trampoline stuff. I mean, I'm sure I just mentioned about 4 different things. If you find a way to add those 4 things into your workout, because as much as you want to copy the earth with the variety, there's only so much you can do as a human. So you can't do every single training method there is, but you need to have, I would say, at least at least four to five different methods. If you can have more, good on you, but at least 4 or 5 different methods. If you have 3 different methods, it's still good, but I'll say 4 to 5 different training methods that you regularly incorporate into your training regularly, and that will be really, really, really good. Like I say, I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy who's recovering himself, you know. I'm recovering myself from surgeries, a lot of conditions I've got, and I use fitness as my therapy. I use fitness as my therapy. I use fitness as my connection back to reality. Because illness disconnects you. When you get ill, we're almost like plugged in. Our creator is such a marvelous and wonderful creator, such an intelligent being. So we're all connected to the planet. But the moment you start getting ill, it's almost like the plug comes out, and then slowly that battery is, it's on its way out. So when the earth sees that you're on your way out, it sort of disconnects you. And that happens when you're getting old and you're about to die. And it also happens when you're ill. When you're ill, you get disconnected. And I found that coming back from all the things I've come back from, I had to reconnect. Some people would think, oh, okay, so it's a case of just getting ill, getting better, and then just carrying on with life. No, when you get better, you have to realize you was literally disconnected. So you literally, once you get reconnected, you have to start from scratch. I had to learn to walk. I had to learn the way my body works. I had to learn everything, really. Really, I had to learn everything. So stay connected, stay true, follow the rhythm of the planet, follow its frequencies, follow its messages. People speak. You've got 2 ears, 1 mouth. So you should be listening twice as much as you speak, really. But, we all love the sound of our voices, don't we? So I'm not judging, I'm just stating the facts. 2 ears, 1 mouth. So, with that being said, I hope you all have a good day and fight the good fight. Stay healthy, stay strong, and have an open heart. Good day.